So I'm about to leave Walmart and I saw a seagull, which made me start thinking of the question, why do I see seagulls at Walmarts? I mean, I've been all over the country from Walmarts to Ohio, Walmarts to Montana, and currently the Walmart in Colorado, and I always see seagulls. Colorado doesn't have any sea, so why is it called a seagull? I mean, at this Walmart, I saw seagull after seagull and even a group of seagulls. So I'm going to dig into why we call them seagulls. Let's go. So to start to answer this question, let's look at the bird that we saw at the parking lot. The fry thief we are particularly looking at is a ring-billed gull. And how I know this is because I took a picture of it, zoomed in, and I identified it through some websites. So its name is not technically seagull. So why do we call it a seagull? Well, this is kind of an issue of common names. So it's not technically an issue. Common names have a time and place, but if you're trying to solve something that we are trying to do right now, we can't use common names. We got to use the technical name that the bird is called. To explain when you should use a common name versus like a technical name, I'm going to give you a little bit of a story. So imagine you're hiking in the woods and somebody yells, bear. You're going to run, right? That's the proper response. But if somebody is like, well, actually, it's a cinnamon black bear, that person's going to get eaten. And they deserve to, because that is not the right time or place, and nobody likes that guy. So that's the difference between common name and technical name. Now, if you're doing research, you would definitely use the technical name because, well, it's a specific species. So how did the seagull name develop? Well, let's look at the gull family, or Laris, spelled it right here. Now, like with some families, there's like huge differences, but with the gull family, there is not really much difference. An example I'm going to give is the western seagull, or the western gull. It looks pretty much almost identical to the ringed-billed gull, which is the one I identified in the Walmart parking lot. But looking at the ranges, bop, bop, you can really see that these are two different species. They have high population densities in much different areas. But they both have the common name seagull. And if you look at the family in general of all the ones in America, which I'm going to display now, I would like you to try to see if you could find the differences between them. For some of them, it's really hard. So, and since most of them hang out around the sea, hence the name seagull. Okay, so now that we established the name and the range of the bird that I identified in the parking lot, we're getting closer to the answer of why we found it in a parking lot. But that doesn't explain that in multiple different states, I always see it in parking lots. And in the research I did, I found that it's not so much a question of the bird and its habits, it's more of a question of what we do in human habits. So the ring-billed gull is similar to raccoons, coyotes, pigeons, and rats in the fact that us being here has made more habitat for the seagull. The ring-billed gull is an opportunistic omnivore. So anywhere that it can find high amounts of food, it's going to hang out because it's highly adaptable. And if there's any water source nearby, well, that's just a bonus. And with humans being pretty wasteful, just like with our food waste, with dropping things, and parking lots kind of being like, and Walmarts kind of being these normally being in areas of like restaurants and whatnot, a seagull has a pretty high chance of finding food. Actually, most of the descriptions of the ring-billed gull that I read, landfills, parking lots were listed as the top places to see the bird. And looking at some videos online, you can definitely see that these things, they flock to places where there's a lot of trash. So high concentrations of food waste and decent enough habitat where the seagull can figure out a way to survive can be found at most parking lots. In a sense, it's become the rat or raccoon of the sky. In creating our concrete jungles across the United States and around the world, certain species have benefited more so. Raccoons, rats, seagulls, pigeons, and coyotes. I really would like you to think, when was the last time you saw a raccoon? When was the last time you saw a pigeon? And when might have been the last time you saw a coyote? I bet it was around trash. It's kind of a weird effect as humans have developed wild areas. It's that the animals have adaptations that were originally for the wild have come to be more benefited in the concrete jungles. All right, so I think we figured out why the seagulls are in the Walmart parking lots. One, because they're not truly seagulls, they're ring-billed gulls. Two, from the case that I have seen, and like where I'm at, the bird I identified as a ring-billed gull, and therefore it's always been an inland bird. It's never been truly a seagull. And three, the ring-billed gull, and from what I've read, a couple of other species of seagull, highly benefit from the concrete jungles that we have created. It just so happens that it could transition very well to the human disturbance. So if you liked the video, please hit like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Have a good one. Bye.